Well, welcome to a chat of DB and Steve Sports Thoughts. I'm DB. This is Captain Corndog. He is going to be substituting for Steve for a little bit, but we'll get through
Harry
this.
Steve.
Good old Steve.
I'm a Harry Steve.
A very hairy Steve. A very, very, very hairy Steve. All right, Steve doesn't get as hairy as you do. All right,
He tries.
I think I get hairier than Steve does.
He had that pre-game beard going.
Well, we had a lot of football going on. Last week we had the NFC conference games and all that. NFC, both the Cowboys 49ers and the Giants and the Eagles. And then you had on the AFC side, you had the Jaguars, Chiefs, and the Bengals and the Bills. Which game did you think was the best out of all that?
Best? I just like the Jaguar game because the Jaguars are actually in it.
The Jaguars are
I always
actually
root for the underdog. When the first playoffs, I know they're like worthless, but like at the beginning, they're fun. Like root for the freaking underdogs.
root for the underdogs. Root for
Imagine the
lowest seed.
Jaguars on a Super Bowl shirt.
Oh yeah, it would. Well, it wouldn't be the first time I think, because I think they went back when Natron Means played on the team.
All right, but that's like barely my existence.
That's like ancient.
When they went.
That's when Jaguars first came into the league.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I was like, how great would that be?
Definitely the underdogs of this year's, like other than the Giants, like, and I don't think they showed up. They just
Well, they didn't try. You could just tell that just something wasn't there. I don't know if they had players out, but like they just didn't effort.
They really didn't have players out. It just Philly's passing rush is just ridiculous. I'll give them that much and all that stuff. But the run defense is what kills them.
Well, we gotta face it that like Philly, San Fran, and Kansas City are kind of like just running the playoff. And everyone else is trying to get past them.
Yeah.
So like the playoff games are important until one of them play each other.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like with the Giants and the Eagles, it was just like I said, the Giants had no place to be there, but they were but if you looked at all four of the games, the team that had the longest time of possession was the team that won. And that's sort of how it is. If you can control the amount of time the ball is in your offensive hand, you're going to win the game because you're going to give fewer chances or opportunities to the other team. But the Giants didn't help. The Giants absolutely did not help. 13 first downs compared to 26 first downs for the Eagles is just no joke.
It was like a make-a-wish. They just wish they wanted to be in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
you got your wish last week, guys. We're done.
They were hoping for that magical run, when they went and beat the Patriots on the Patriots' magical season that everyone's like 18 and one giant loss, like the one important game you couldn't win.
But that whole season too, the Giants weren't even great.
No, they weren't. They weren't really.
Which like everyone watched the game, they're like, "All right, Giants are gonna get stomped by the Patriots." That's why it was climactic.
Yeah. But like Philly, Jalen Hurts, he's an absolute, like, he is monstering it through and all that. Like, he is a really good quarterback. There is not like really a bad quarterback in the group.
No, I mean, really. I mean, now Mahomes out.
What?
Isn't Mahomes out?
Nope, Mahomes is actually going to be playing.
He's actually going to play injured?
He says that he is 100% go, that he is 100% healthy, which I think is a crock of shit because you do not get a high ankle sprain and heal in 1 week. I don't care. Like, I don't care how well you think.
He's got them young ankles, man.
Like, he's going to need that. He is not going to be as mobile. He's going to try and put his effort into it. But again, do you really want Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, or do you want Chad Henne?
Who?
Chad Henne. Exactly. Chad Henne. All right, he's been in the league for fucking ever. Literally forever. Chad Henne is one of the older quarterbacks. I think he's like. Oh, man.
Good job. Like a second string quarterback. Is that like a paid minimum?
37. All right. He is literally probably the oldest quarterback in the playoffs right now is Chad Henne.
He's living the greatest life, probably.
Oh,
Dude probably freaking never has to play ball.
Oh yeah,
he's getting 10 mil.
Yep, easily.
Just traveling the country, having a great time, visiting places.
Oh yeah,
sitting on the bench.
All right. Wait, if the Chiefs had to depend on Chad Henne the entire game last week, they wouldn't have won. It would not have happened. All right. Mahomes at 50% is still better than Chad Henne. All right. Chad Henne was never really a starting quarterback. He originally was a starting quarterback. It lasted
Montana
probably like 2 years.
Did he start against Brett Favre?
He played. I bet you he did play against Brett Favre. He got drafted in 2008, so he's been in the league for 14 years.
That's when my kid was born.
Yeah, he was drafted by Miami.
Wow.
Okay,
so Miami didn't exist.
Miami didn't exist, and everything else like that. But he was the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins at one point.
Good job. It's like saying, "Oh man, I'm the lead pitcher for the Pirates."
Well, like I said, they want Mahomes at quarterback more than they want Chad Henne at quarterback.
I'll take Mahomes on crutches as quarterback.
All right, so like that,
you can sit on a lineman's shoulders.
So it's all going to depend on if that defense gets to Mahomes and gets him all riled up. I think Cincinnati can take out the Kansas City Chiefs, and they will blame it on the fact that Mahomes was hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only downside is like every single excuse will be just he was injured.
He was injured, and he wasn't at 100%. But it happens. This is football and everything else. But like, they're a consistent team. They've been to the AFC Championship 5 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take that away. Every year they go.
Yeah. Well, Andy Reid, he's the only coach that has both an NFC team 5 years in a row and an AFC team 5 years in a row to the NFC Championship game.
If I was a coach, I'd be trying to collect championship rings like Thanos. I would just go to different teams trying to get freaking championship rings. Just be like, we'll get all of them from different places.
Yeah, well, that's when Bill Belichick just goes, bitches. I got them all.
Bill Belichick pays small children to hold his hands up.
Oh, yeah, because it takes a lot, because that's a lot of weight right there. That man's got quite a few AFC Championship, rings.
Good. Yeah, but
that's why
Giants were expected.
Yeah.
Eagles, we knew they were going to win.
Oh, yeah.
Kansas City, even getting hurt, they still freaking won.
They still won. Like, the only toss-up from, like, the Bengals, Bills, I think what shot the Bills and everything else is that the NFL jumped ahead and started trying to sell neutral site tickets.
Yeah.
Because they started doing that before the game even happened. So Cincinnati went in with a chip on their shoulder. They're like, you're literally already counting us out. You're already saying that we lost this game.
Yeah.
That's a bad combo right there. And then
it's Cincinnati.
And then the Buffalo Bills, they just did not show. You would think they played it. They played in the snow once or twice.
You think they've been there a few times.
You think they've been there a couple times. They're in fucking Buffalo, New York. It fucking snows up there. They know how to play.
They don't grow grass. They just grow snow.
Yeah, they're like, it fucking snows up there. Like, just straight up, it snows. But they played like shit.
Allen, they had their shirts on that day.
Yeah, Allen did not perform at all. But I think a lot of that stuff came to they pushed down the field, and then they would cough it up once they were down towards the red zone. So it was like they were helping control the ball and turnover.
So you had all the yardage drive, and then you just stopped.
Yeah,
you could never get past that line.
Which was like what was happening through the Bills game from what I went over on it and everything else. But the Bengals, they wanted it more. And like I said, I think they played more with a chip on their shoulder because they were being like, you're counting us out. Fuck you.
You know, it's kind of weird. I was thinking about this today. Like, if the Bengals won the Super Bowl, say they went all the way through, beat the hell out of everybody, broke all the odds in the fucking world.
Yeah.
I still don't know what a Bengals helmet would look like on a Super Bowl t-shirt. Like, I don't know what their helmet is. Is it still stripes?
Yeah, it's still striped. It's literally just orange, black stripes for the Bengal tiger.
I just started saying, like, I don't know what the Bengals look like when they're playing.
Yeah, that's all you see. That's all it is. That's it. Yeah, all right. The only more simple helmet than that is the Cleveland Browns, and it's all orange.
Yeah, but like, why are the Bengals suddenly doing decent? Did they get an amazing draft pick?
Joe Burrow.
That's it. That's all it took.
Well, Joe Burrow and their wide receiver. What's his name?
Yeah, their passing game has just been everything.
Yeah, well, their passing game.
They've just been passing everywhere.
Yeah, well, their wide receiver. What the hell is the goddamn name? This is gonna drive me nuts. Go here.
It's just weird because like last year they weren't even existent.
Well, John Morant. No, that's basketball.
That's basketball.
Can you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats?
But it's like so odd to see a team come this far into the playoffs. Last year, like they were just average.
Oh yeah, well they went pretty far last year into the playoffs too. I do believe they were into the second round. Because Joe Burrow is a pretty good quarterback. He definitely has the height and everything else, the pedigree and all that stuff.
We've seen a lot more tall quarterbacks.
Jamar Chase.
And
Jamar Chase was like top round pick. He's an unbelievable wide receiver.
It's weird to me because like I get you got to talk about the main three that are definitely like the odds are with them. They're gonna get towards the end.
Oh yeah, but the Bengals definitely have like the Cinderellas. Like other than the that's Cincinnati's got like the farthest chance out of everybody left in the But it's literally the best teams are playing in the championship. Like that's what you want to see. You don't want to see like it. They're going to be two good contested games. The only way I can see Kansas City not being a good contested game.
I hope it's not something stupid.
Yeah, like
one team like hurts their prize player or something, and then it's just a freaking
well, that's what I'm like hoping not for Kansas City. I want to be able to see Mahomes play the entire game. Granted, even if he's hurt and they lose, they're going to still use that excuse. But if he gets hurt at the beginning of the game, I do not want to watch 4 quarters of Chad Henne. Chad Henne. All right, like people can hate it and everything else. Like he's been in the league for 14 years. Blah 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 blah. I couldn't watch Chad Henne for 4 quarters, being like, man, this defense gonna rip him apart.
That's the main point, Chad Henne. All season, he's like, okay, if I got to do it, I can do this. Now he's like, we're up against one of the best teams ever. Great. This is when I got to shine, guys.
Well, yeah, that's...
Earn that money.
But that's what everyone's saying, like, with the 49ers. They're like, oh, they haven't seen a defense. The Cowboys have a really good defense.
The Cowboys have a good defense. It's just... Unfortunately, it still seems like the 49ers and Cowboys game just didn't go anywhere. It didn't, like, get up. There wasn't, like,
couldn't get anywhere. It was
downfield. Nobody, like, caught it, ran 100 yards back to the freaking end zone.
Yeah, nobody did
nothing
that.
Like,
it was nothing like that.
It was literally just, like, textbook football.
It was trenches. That's what all it was. All it was done was in the trench work.
Yeah, it was like down to one side. Okay, they worked. They go back down the middle, back down the middle, back down the... Okay, they actually made it down once. Back down the middle, back down the middle.
Oh, yeah, they kept it right there, like, just fighting for that yardage to get that field goal because neither team was putting it in on the defense.
Yeah.
But when
they didn't have any of those, like, ESPN highlight moments.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the guy fumbles it on their own 5 and some reason runs it back and dodges like 30 people. Trips over a guy, does a cartwheel, lands in the end zone somehow.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like with...
It was weird because both of those teams have the pedigree where they could do those miraculous plays.
Oh, well, they have like great... Like, they could make miraculous plays, but again, when you have lockdown defenses sitting on you, it makes it a whole different kind of like...
That's why I run into, like, if it's 2 super good teams, it almost turns into a more boring-ish game.
Oh, it definitely
you know what's going to happen.
You're
watching the strategy.
Yep, because you have to see who's going to have that one mistake, who's going to have that fewer turnovers. And San Francisco leads people with that. They have a plus 13 turnover ratio. They do not turn over the ball that often. They are very good about keeping the ball under control. And I think that's their biggest asset, because as long as you keep the ball under control, you keep time of possession.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, part of me can appreciate the beauty of them doing it evenly, and it's like a nice competition.
Yeah.
The same part of me is like, I don't want a Super Bowl like that.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to see.
That's like a draining, non-entertaining game.
Yeah.
You're just like, they didn't get a first down, they punted it. They didn't get a first down, they punted it. They didn't get they didn't get a field goal. Okay, they didn't get a first down, they punted it. He's like, God damn it.
Oh yeah, but
you need that still like something to happen. I don't know how to make it happen, but I need that excitement. That like, you get to the last quarter and they're losing by 2 touchdowns, but somehow they're still coming back.
They're still coming back. Well, hey, it's happened. I've watched Kansas City Chiefs come back against my Niners.
Yeah,
all right.
It's just like
Super Bowls ago.
I need those games of like, oh shit, things are changing. We thought it was a washout, but now it's freaking like,
oh my god, it's actually gonna be a game. Like, and oh my god, they're gonna fucking blow it. Yeah. Like, it's a good matchup. Like I said, San Francisco and Eagles, you figure they were 1-2 in yards allowed per game. San Francisco allowed 300, Philly allowed 301.
Yeah. Like I said, their game's gonna be the same exact thing we just saw with San Francisco. It's gonna be neck and neck until the very last 5 seconds of the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be or it's gonna be whoever makes the fewer mistakes.
Yeah, that's literally all it's gonna be. You're gonna be watching, just waiting for mistakes.
Yeah.
And we hope that, there's more than one.
Gotta hope for more than one, because if there isn't more than one, we're fucked.
It's just going to be unique. It's like, these are the last games. They're going to be super good teams, but they're just not going to be flairful games.
Or
going to be so strategy. It's ridiculous.
Or we're just going to luck out and all 4 defenses are going to forget how to play, and it's just going to be just a scoring barrage.
Yeah, it's just going to be offense nonstop.
Because Purdy
passes every time.
Because Purdy and Jalen Hurts have actually played against each other.
Yeah.
They played against each other in college back in 2019.
That's 4 years ago.
Yeah. Well, Purdy was a freshman in college, all right?
4 years ago.
It was right before Hurts came into the league, and Purdy just got into college. That was 4 years ago, but still, that's the only game they've played against each other. Hurts won by 1 point.
At 1 point, hey, 1 is
again,
1. That's a weird number.
Yeah.
Isn't college football different though? Like, they're scoring.
Nope.
Oh, it's all the same.
Yeah, all the same.
I thought there was something weird about college that's different.
They don't do like the pros do with where the kickoff is and extra points. Extra points.
Yeah, it's like
that 3 yard.
The distance is different.
Yeah. They kick from the regular spot, which is 20 yards out, because you snap the ball from the 3, it goes back to the 10, and you kick a field goal from there. So it's a 20-yard field goal instead of a 42-yard field goal.
Why'd they just go to the 42? These kids want to play pro. You might as well step the kicker up, because they're not doing dick else anyways.
Yeah, unfortunately, most kickers in college don't get drafted.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of the easy job.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of the easy job, but for the most part, there have been a couple exceptions, because there was 5 of those kind of players drafted this year before Brock Purdy.
Kind of weird. Weird.
All right, hey,
I'm just kicker. Anywhere up there is weird.
I am just saying. All right, 5 of those guys were picked before Brock Purdy was.
That's odd. You would think kickers would just be like a standard, like you went to a college, like, oh, you're a new kicker, this guy's good. Bring him in, we'll train him for a year.
All right, before this year, the only 2 players I knew that got drafted onto their teams was Jankowski for the Raiders.
Yep.
And Brandon Pinion for the 49ers.
It's just a weird. I feel like the kicker position is just a weird position.
It
I don't know.
really is because you don't really. You either can punt or you can kick field goals and kickoffs because most of the time you don't do both.
It's so odd.
You have a punter and then you have a place kicker. You don't. The place kicker usually doesn't do punts, and the punter usually doesn't do place kicking. He's usually the holder.
Man, like being the punter must be great.
Oh yeah, you have probably
make like $1 million a year.
Yeah, you probably make around the minimum, which is like 750, 800. But depending on what kind of kicker you are, too.
800,000, you just gotta pelt that thing downfield. That ain't bad.
That ain't bad. Like you just got.
And on the sideline, practice every day. You ain't even gotta really warm up.
And then if you have a really good offensive team, you barely almost ever have to go on there. There's some teams don't even punt, so you just think you got paid. Go stand on the sideline and go, yeah.
You're just there enjoying the game. Like, cool, this is great.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
Who needs water? I'll play water boy while we're at it. Let's go.
We got this all done. Like, you guys need an extra person over there? I got you.
All right, so what's your game of the weekend? I know you're a San Francisco fan, but like, what was the most standout game of them all?
The standout game would have had to have been the Bengals and the Bills, just because I wasn't expecting the Bills to flop. Bad. So bad. Like it wasn't even remotely it was like, wow, did you get they forgot how to play. All right, I can't even say the Giants was a good game. That wasn't surprising to me because I knew they sucked that bad. So that was not part of the issue. I wasn't expecting a really good game out of that. And if I did get a good game out of that, I would have been surprised if it was actually worth it. But the Bills they did nothing.
It's amazing because honestly, and that's how I felt. You expected the Bills to just destroy the Bengals.
I expected something a lot better than that. From what they gave us and everything else like that, I just expected better.
I kind of wish the Bills played against the Giants.
Yeah, it probably would have been a little bit better, but too bad you can't do AFC versus NFC to try to figure out who goes to that championship. Well, since you both lost,
it's weird because we already had two teams on each side that were just never decided to show up for the weekend.
Yeah, it's really bad when you get that far down into the game and you just don't show.
You just stop.
Atlanta knows how that feels. Just ask them. They shut down, and ask the Niners. They shut down too. Fuck, man.
Every team does.
They didn't show up for the second half of the fucking Chiefs game twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
Twice. Not just once. Twice.
In the second half, it's literally, what the hell are you doing? You drugging them?
Right, you're beating them in the first half. You're looking good, and no, we're done. We're good. We're going home. Halftime.
I thought we finished here.
I thought we were good. I thought the game was over. No.
The 2023 rules. We only do 2 quarters. If we both play the 2 quarters, then that means we don't have to play. That's 4 quarters.
4 quarters. We're good. Nope. It just never really worked out that well.
So
I'm like, but ever since then, that kicked them in the ass this year. I think that loss right there kicked them in the ass because they have not lost since. And that's
I'm not sure they maintain that and they don't go to the Super Bowl and just flop.
Oh God, no!
Something fierce.
Yeah, no. We don't need that.
I don't want to see any team just go to the Super Bowl and just be a fucking pummeling. I strongly remember going to a Super Bowl party at Steve's house. Watching the Denver Broncos
Oh God.
versus, I think it was the Patriots.
Yeah, and the Broncos
And the
just didn't
Broncos
show
just
up.
never showed up.
Yeah, and the Patriots, Tom Brady.
They
and the
lost by like
Patriots.
40 points. It was something crazy.
Yeah.
It was like the most heartbreaking thing ever.
Yeah.
We're just like, this isn't a game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't even go back with that for the 49ers. And like, we wouldn't want to see a repeat of that Super Bowl.
No.
49ers in Cincinnati. All right. 49ers waffle stomped Cincinnati that game. Like,
Yeah.
there was
Wasn't even a game.
There was no joke about that Super Bowl. The 49ers waffle stomped them.
Yeah. That's one big thing for me is like I need the Super Bowl to still entertain me.
Oh, it's got to be entertaining, but I think
I don't want to see it where I'm like, oh, they got the ball again. All right, they're gonna get a touchdown. Then like 3 plays, they get downfield, they get it, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
All right, let's watch these guys struggle for 5-6 plays, punt it back in the end zone.
The only thing I miss with Super Bowl is the Bud Bowl, and the actual Bud Bowl, not what they do now. The original, where they would actually, between each of the quarters, they would give you 1/4 of the Bud Bowl, and they would play it out that way. Now, whatever they do with it is so weird. It is not a Bud Bowl. It is not a bunch of bottles and cans running around and playing against each other. It looked way cooler.
The Bud Bowl is a reminiscent memory of like your kitchen counter and you're freaking growing up just watching the bottles.
Yep.
It was so good.
Oh yeah, but yeah, no, that definitely was like the surprise game. Though was definitely the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, I know they beat the crap out of them, but like it was still the game of the weekend to me. It was like I didn't expect it. I like when there's a surprise.
Oh yeah, like I said, the 49ers and the Cowboys. Like we
knew they were going to be neck and neck.
We knew they were going to be neck and neck. I knew it wasn't going to be no high scoring game.
I knew it was going to be almost no points, or every time each one got the ball, they got a touchdown.
Yeah,
and they just drove back and forth like freaking freight trains.
And that's what it's going to be this Sunday with the Eagles and the 49ers.
Yep, that's what it's going to be. There's going to be passing it downfield, and it's just going to be they caught it, they're probably going to score.
Yeah, because both defenses have got well-rounded stacked teams and everything. The only thing the defense on the Philly side lacks is their run defense. So there might be a lot of Christian McCaffrey in their foreseeable future running down their throats.
Yeah, that makes it a slow game. So I don't know if they're gonna like that drive downfield is gonna be really hard to push.
Oh yeah,
you don't want to punt to Philly. You want to kick off to them.
Oh yeah, but still, they're gonna stick to it. They're really good about sticking to a almost 50-50 ratio.
Yeah.
Where they're running the ball as often as they are throwing the ball. They're not relying on one asset of their gameplay compared to the other asset. Like they try to stay well balanced. So obviously they're gonna have to do more. And I'm not quite sure what the weather's gonna be like down in Philly this weekend.
Right, nasty. It's Philly, and it's February.
It's February. It's Philly, but we live in New England. We're higher than Philly, and our weather hasn't been that bad.
Yes, but we're protected in weirdness of ocean stuff.
Weirdness of ocean stuff.
We're in a weird section, all right? Our weather doesn't count for the rest of the world.
Well, that's why I said New England. Like, we are definitely
at the top of America, but we're at the same latitude and longitude, or same longitude. Is it longitude? No, latitude. Latitude line as Germany.
Right.
All right, weirdest thing to think about.
Yeah.
Germany's on the bottom of Europe.
Yep. Oh, hey. And we still cold up in this area.
We're still cold as fuck.
And it's still cold as fuck up in this area. All right, I bet you we see more snow than Germany does.
Yeah. I can honestly say, though, with seeing all the teams in the playoffs, I don't give a fuck because there's no Tom Brady.
Oh God, yeah. Tom Brady's gone.
So like every game, I'm like, all right, there's somebody that's gonna win. I'm not gonna hear the stupid same story everywhere I freaking go.
No
But
Tom
Tom Brady win again.
Brady. No Aaron Rodgers. None of the older guys.
Nobody.
The oldest quarterback is Patrick Mahomes.
Which is hardly
27.
we're barely allowed to say he's old, guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm barely allowed to say he's old.
27 is nothing.
27 isn't really that old, but that's the oldest quarterback. He's the oldest, and Purdy is the youngest at 23.
I need a show about old quarterbacks, but like what they do after they retire.
Well, just look at Peyton Manning and
yeah, but they're on TV. I'm talking about the ones that like we don't ever see. Like, what the hell is Brett Favre doing?
living his life someplace else away from everybody.
What is Brett Favre doing? Like, how do you go from playing that long and then next thing you know, you're just like, well, I'm retired. Is he like sitting at home in a rocking chair?
Probably not.
Is he just hanging out? Is he going to like his grandkids' football games?
Probably.
Grizzly, white beard, white hair man.
I don't know if he has grandkids. Does he have grandkids?
I mean, he's got to. I would think he would. I would think somebody from Green Bay would give up anything for him.
Back in the day, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Like, what's he doing? Like, how come that isn't a Netflix series yet? I need to know, like, where the. I mean,
where's that?
I know Troy Aikman is on TV occasionally, but like, what's his daily like?
I'm Batman. Is his daily, all right? Like,
or Steve Young.
Well, Steve Young, he's usually hanging out with the Niners. Same with Jerry Rice.
I'm like, I want to see like, what the hell is this guy actually doing with his day?
I know Jerry Rice goes with the team almost everywhere.
Nothing else to do with the damn day.
What? Oh, Jerry Rice, yeah, he got nothing else to do, but he gets paid.
Yeah,
he got paid.
Getting paid for that shit. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely good though. I like how it works.
That sounds good.
Oh yeah.
So are you doing one of these episodes every week?
I'm gonna try to. We'll do this one. We'll get this one out, and then we can do a recap on Monday about the NFC AFC game, and we can put that out on Tuesday.
Perfect.
But I like talking, like doing the sports that are happening, even though